Ever feel like you're juggling chainsaws, like, while riding a unicycle just to get through the day?
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
Huh?
But what if I told you there was, like, a way to feel amazing,
Hmm.
even when life's throwing everything it's got at you?
Okay.
We're diving into 10 self-care rituals you can do in 10 minutes or less. And
Right?
trust me, this isn't your average bubble bath and face mask routine.
Exactly.
Like, we're talking about sustainable self-care, the
Yeah.
kind that fits into the cracks of your crazy schedule.
Yeah.
Not the kind that requires booking a week at a silent retreat.
Nope.
I'm already hooked
Oh, yeah.
by the word rituals. It feels so much more intentional than just adding meditate to my to-do list.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
it's about creating mindful moments throughout your day.
Right.
Little pockets of peace to recharge and reconnect with yourself.
I like that.
So let's start with those mornings.
Go.
When the alarm clock feels like an enemy combatant,
Yeah.
the source kicks things off with mindful morning breathing.
Just 3 minutes of focused breathing to start your day.
3 minutes, that can make a world of difference.
Right.
Deep breathing actually triggers your parasympathetic nervous system,
Okay.
which is like your body's built-in chill pill.
I like that.
It lowers stress hormones and tells your body it's safe to relax.
So it's kind
For
of...
those of us who wake up in fight or flight mode,
Yeah.
this is game-changing.
It's like hitting the snooze button on stress
Uh-huh.
before it even has a chance to go off.
Exactly.
I love that.
So next up,
Next up is gratitude journaling, but with a twist.
okay, a twist.
Great.
It's not just about listing things you're grateful for.
Okay.
It's about training your brain to savor the details.
Mm.
So instead of writing, I'm grateful for my morning coffee,
Yeah.
describe the aroma,
Sure.
the warmth of the mug in your hands,
Yeah.
the taste of that first sip.
Uh-huh.
You're rewiring your brain to actively seek out those tiny joys we often miss in the rush.
It's like mindfulness training disguised as journaling.
Yeah. I'm already thinking about all the little things I take for granted.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's fast forward to the dreaded afternoon slump.
Right.
We all hit that wall, right?
Absolutely, we all do.
The source offers a brilliant counterattack.
Oh.
Quick, progressive muscle relaxation.
Okay.
7 minutes of tensing and releasing different muscle groups.
So it's not just about physical relaxation, though.
7 minutes to bliss.
Well, think of it as a body scan.
Okay.
By consciously tensing and releasing each muscle group,
Mm-hmm.
you become incredibly aware of physical sensations, which can actually help you manage stress more effectively throughout the day.
It's like you're building a stronger mind-body connection,
It's
which is
generous.
super helpful when you're feeling overwhelmed.
Right.
Now, this next one sounds right up my alley.
Okay, tell me.
Mindful tea ritual.
Oh, nice.
It's like elevating my afternoon caffeine fix to an art form.
It's about transforming a mundane activity into a mindful experience.
Okay.
So really savor each step. The sound of the kettle,
Mm-hmm.
the aroma of the tea leaves,
Yeah.
the warmth of the mug in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mini meditation in the middle of your day.
I have to admit this next one sounds a little out there.
Oh, which one?
Power posing.
Okay.
2 minutes of striking a confident pose like Wonder Woman or Superman.
Huh?
To boost confidence and reduce stress.
Oh, uh-huh.
Does it really work?
The research is surprisingly compelling.
Really?
Power posing actually affects your hormone levels, increasing testosterone,
Okay.
which is associated with confidence,
Right.
and decreasing cortisol, the stress hormone.
Wait, so my posture can actually change my biochemistry?
It can.
That's wild.
The source suggests pairing these poses with empowering affirmations, too.
Oh.
It's about aligning your body language, your thoughts, and your physiology for maximum impact.
So it's like a triple whammy of confidence boosting.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm definitely going to try that before my next big presentation.
I think you should. Now, for those of us who are glued to our desks all day,
Yeah.
the source offers some desk-bound wellness tips.
All right, like what desk stretch sequence
Right.
is 5 minutes of gentle stretches you can do without leaving your workspace?
5 minutes. We're talking neck rolls, shoulder shrugs, wrist rotations, seated spinal twists.
So simple yet so effective.
Right.
I'm already feeling less stiff just thinking about it.
It's about getting the blood flowing, releasing tension, and refreshing your mind, all without a yoga mat in sight.
Right.
And then there's the sensory reset,
Okay.
4-minute technique using a personalized toolkit.
Sensory toolkit. Okay, you have my attention.
All right, think of it as a curated collection of things that engage your senses and evoke positive feelings.
Okay.
A favorite essential oil,
Oh,
a smooth stone,
yeah.
a piece of soft fabric,
Yeah.
anything that brings you comfort and joy.
And how does this work as a self-care ritual?
When you're feeling overwhelmed or stressed or just need a mental break, you take a few minutes to engage with one of these items.
Okay.
Smell the essential oil, rub the stone, feel the texture of the fabric. It's about grounding yourself in the present moment through your senses.
So it's like a quick escape for your mind.
Yeah.
A way to shift your focus away from whatever's stressing you out and onto something positive and calming.
Exactly.
And because it's personalized, it's incredibly effective.
Right.
Now, let's move on to rituals that emphasize connection and joy.
Right.
Because self-care isn't just about taking care of ourselves. It's about nurturing our relationships and finding moments of delight in our day.
I love that.
It's about recognizing that our well-being is interconnected with the people and experiences that bring us joy.
Yes.
So what's first on the agenda?
The Express Gratitude Connection is a 3-minute act of reaching out to someone you appreciate and expressing one specific thing you value about them.
Okay.
It could be a quick text or a voice message or even a handwritten note.
What's fascinating about this is that it's not just about making someone else feel good.
Right.
It actually boosts your own well-being, too.
Yeah.
Expressing gratitude has been shown to increase happiness and reduce stress.
It's a win-win.
And then there's the joy movement break.
Oh, tell me about it.
10 minutes of moving your body in any way that feels good.
I'm picturing myself dancing like nobody's watching.
Me too, and I'm already smiling.
Exactly. Put on your favorite music, dance, stretch, sway, jump around.
Yeah.
Whatever brings you joy.
It's not about a structured workout.
Right.
It's about finding pleasure and freedom in movement.
Uh-huh.
I love that.
It's about connecting with your body in a joyful way.
Yeah.
Which is incredibly beneficial for both your physical and mental health.
All right, we've reached the final ritual.
Okay, the final one.
And it's all about preparing for a restful night's sleep.
Right.
Evening reflection.
Okay.
This is a 6-minute practice designed to help you process your day and wind down before bed. The source suggests reflecting on 3 things.
Okay.
Something you're proud of from the day, something you learned, and something you're looking forward to tomorrow.
So it's like a mental checklist for a good night's sleep.
It is, by focusing on the positives.
Right.
And cultivating a sense of anticipation for tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're setting yourself up for a more peaceful and restful night.
Exactly. It's about ending your day on a positive note and shifting your mindset away from any lingering stress or worries.
This has been such an eye-opening look at self-care, and we've only just scratched the surface.
I know, right?
We've covered 10 amazing rituals,
When?
all doable in 10 minutes or less.
Or less.
But how do we make these rituals stick?
Good question.
Life gets crazy, and self-care is often the first thing to go out the window.
That's where the Making It Work section of the source comes in.
Okay.
It's all about turning these rituals into sustainable habits.
Okay.
And we'll dive into that in part 2.
Can't wait to hear those tips. Until then, dear listeners, start thinking about which of these rituals resonates with you the most. We'll be back soon to help you make self-care a non-negotiable part of your life.
Sounds good.
Oh.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
All right.
Before we jumped into those amazing 10-minute self-care rituals,
Yeah.
we were talking about how prioritizing self-care can actually create a ripple effect, improving our relationships and even boosting our performance at work.
It's a fascinating idea.
Right.
Like, could taking a few minutes to breathe deeply or jot down what I'm grateful for actually make me a better partner, parent, or colleague? Sign me up for that.
Well, think about it.
Okay.
When you're feeling depleted and overwhelmed,
Yeah.
it's hard to be your best self.
Right.
You're more likely to snap at your kids,
Oh, yeah.
get impatient with your partner,
Uh-huh.
or zone out in that important meeting.
Oh, tell me about it.
Uh-huh.
I once tried to have a serious conversation with my partner after a particularly stressful day, and it did not go well.
Oh.
Let's just say I was not the most empathetic listener.
We've all been there.
Right.
But when you prioritize even small acts of self-care,
Okay.
you're essentially replenishing your emotional reserves. You're giving yourself the space to de-stress and recharge,
Yeah.
which makes you more present and patient with the people around you.
So it's not selfish to prioritize self-care.
It's not.
It's actually an act of generosity towards the people we love.
Exactly. And remember that Express Gratitude Connection ritual.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example of how self-care can directly strengthen our relationships.
Okay.
When you take the time to appreciate someone,
Uh-huh.
it deepens your connection and creates a more positive dynamic.
It's like a double dose of feel-good vibes.
I like that.
You benefit from expressing gratitude.
Yeah.
And the person receiving it feels appreciated.
Right.
Everyone wins.
Everyone wins.
Okay, now let's talk about work.
All right, work.
Can squeezing in a quick desk stretch or a mindful tea break actually make us more productive? It seems counterintuitive.
It might seem that way.
Right.
But our brains actually crave those little breaks. Think about it.
Okay.
When you try to force yourself to focus for hours on end, your attention inevitably starts to wander. You get distracted, make mistakes, and end up feeling mentally exhausted.
It's like trying to drive a car with an empty tank.
Yeah.
You're not going to get very far.
Exactly. Those self-care rituals are like mini pit stops for your brain.
Okay.
They allow you to reset, refocus, and return to your work with renewed energy and clarity.
So those 5 minutes spent stretching or mindfully sipping tea are actually an investment in your productivity.
Hey, Art.
Not a distraction from it.
Precisely. And remember those morning and evening rituals.
Yeah.
The mindful morning breathing helps you start your day feeling grounded and centered, which sets the stage for a more focused and productive workday.
Yeah.
And the evening reflection allows you to process the day's events and de-stress before bed.
Okay.
Which can lead to better sleep.
Yeah.
And more energy the next morning.
It's like these rituals are weaving a thread of calm and clarity throughout your entire day.
Right.
Which ultimately benefits your work as well as your well-being.
Exactly. And we can't forget the power of movement.
Oh, yeah.
That joy movement break isn't just about having fun.
Right.
It's about giving your brain and body a much-needed energy boost.
Okay.
It can spark creativity, relieve stress, and help you power through the rest of the day.
I'm starting to see how these small acts of self-care can have a ripple effect on every aspect of our lives.
You too.
It's like investing in yourself.
Uh-huh.
And that investment pays dividends in your relationships, your work, and your overall well-being.
I couldn't agree more.
Okay, so we're sold on the benefits, but let's talk about the how-to.
Okay, the how-to.
How do we actually integrate these rituals into our already packed lives?
Yeah.
It's easy to get excited about the idea of self-care. But actually making it happen is a whole other story.
That's where the rubber meets the road.
Right.
And thankfully, the source offers some really practical advice for turning these rituals into sustainable habits.
Okay, lay it on me. I'm ready to turn those good intentions into concrete actions.
One of the most effective strategies is to start small.
Okay.
Don't try to overhaul your entire routine overnight.
Right.
Choose 1 or 2 rituals that really speak to you and focus on incorporating those consistently.
So it's about building a self-care practice one step at a time.
It is.
Not overwhelming ourselves with a to-do list a mile long.
Exactly. It's like any new habit.
Yeah.
You need to start gradually and build momentum over time.
Okay, so let's say I choose mindful morning breathing and express gratitude connection as my starting points.
Okay. Good choices.
What are some concrete ways I can actually make those rituals a part of my daily routine?
For the mindful morning breathing,
Yeah.
you could try habit stacking, which is all about linking a new habit to an existing one.
Okay.
So for example, as soon as you turn off your alarm clock, take those 3 minutes to breathe deeply before you even get out of bed.
Okay.
Or link it to your morning coffee routine.
Yeah.
While the coffee brews, you breathe.
So it's not about finding extra time.
Right.
It's about weaving these rituals into the fabric of your existing routine.
Exactly.
I like that.
And for the express gratitude connection, you could try something similar.
Okay.
Maybe you stack it onto your lunch break.
Okay.
After you finish eating. Take 3 minutes to send a gratitude text to someone.
Okay.
Or link it to your commute while you're driving or walking.
Yeah.
Take a moment to mentally list 3 things you're grateful for.
I love that.
It's about finding those little pockets of time throughout your day and using them intentionally.
Exactly.
And remember, it doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming.
Right.
Even a few minutes here and there can make a big difference.
This is starting to feel much more doable.
Yeah.
But what about those days when it feels like there's literally no time for self-care?
Yeah.
You know, those days when you're running from meeting to meeting, battling deadlines, and barely have time to breathe.
That's real life for a lot of us.
It is.
And it's important to acknowledge that there will be days when sticking to your self-care routine feels impossible.
Okay.
But even on those crazy busy days, there are still opportunities to prioritize your well-being. Even if it's just in tiny ways.
Okay. I'm intrigued. What are some examples of these micro self-care moments that we can squeeze into even the most hectic days?
One of the simplest yet most powerful things you can do is take a few conscious breaths.
Okay.
Literally just pause for a moment and focus on your breath.
Like a mini meditation you can do anywhere, anytime.
Exactly. You can do it while waiting in line at the store,
Uh-huh.
sitting in traffic,
Yeah.
or
Right.
even in the middle of a stressful meeting.
It's like finding little moments of zen amidst the chaos. What else?
Another thing you can do is simply step outside for a few minutes and get some fresh air,
Okay.
even if it's just for a minute or two.
Uh-huh.
That change of scenery and the feeling of the sun on your skin can do wonders for your mood.
It's like hitting the reset button on your brain and body. I like that.
And if you have a few more minutes,
Yeah.
you can always do a quick stretch or take a brisk walk around the block.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a full-blown workout.
Right.
Just getting your blood flowing and moving your body can make a big difference.
So even on those days when it feels like self-care is a luxury you can't afford,
Yeah.
there are still ways to prioritize your well-being,
There are.
even in small ways.
Absolutely.
It's about being creative and finding those little opportunities to take care of yourself,
Right.
no matter how busy your day may be.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation.
It has.
I'm feeling so much more equipped to make self-care a consistent part of my life.
Yeah.
Not just a fleeting good intention.
I love that shift in perspective.
You do?
It's not about adding more to your to-do list.
Right.
It's about investing in your well-being so you can show up as the best version of yourself in every area of your life.
I couldn't agree more.
Okay, before we wrap up part 2,
Yeah.
I have a little challenge for our listeners.
Okay, a challenge.
Think about one small act of self-care that you can commit to incorporating into your routine this week. It could be anything we've discussed. A breathing practice, a gratitude ritual, a movement break.
Yeah.
Anything that resonates with you.
Right.
Write it down.
Uh-huh.
Set a reminder on your phone
Yeah.
and make it happen.
I love that challenge.
Remember, even small acts of self-care, when practiced consistently, can create a ripple effect of positive change.
They can.
So choose one ritual and commit to it this week.
Yeah.
You might be surprised at the impact it has.
We'll be back in part 3 to dive into even more strategies for making self-care a sustainable part of your life.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
We've been exploring those bite-sized self-care rituals that can fit into even the most chaotic schedule.
Yeah, but let's be honest. Sometimes even 10 minutes feels like a luxury.
You're absolutely right. Life throws curveballs.
It does.
And sometimes those well-intentioned self-care plans go out the window.
They do.
But the source we're diving into has some clever strategies for making these rituals stick, even when willpower is running low.
Because, let's face it, my motivation tends to disappear the second my inbox explodes.
Oh, yeah.
Or the kids decide to recreate a monster truck rally in the living room.
We've all been there.
We have.
But one of the most effective techniques is something called habit stacking.
Habit stacking?
It's about leveraging the power of your existing routines.
Okay, I'm intrigued. I'm a creature of habit, so tell me more.
Think about a routine you already do without fail.
Okay.
Something so ingrained you don't even think about it. Brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
Taking a shower.
Uh-huh.
That first cup of coffee in the morning.
Oh, my morning coffee ritual is sacred.
Huh.
Don't even try to talk to me before I've had that first sip.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's say you want to make mindful morning breathing a daily practice.
Okay.
Instead of trying to create a whole new time slot in your already packed morning, stack it onto your coffee routine.
Okay.
While the coffee brews, those 3 minutes are for your breathing practice.
So it's not about finding extra time. It's about being strategic with the time you already have.
Exactly.
I like that. It feels way more manageable.
You're piggybacking on an existing habit, making it much easier for the new behavior to stick.
Right.
And you could apply this to any ritual.
Okay.
Want to make express gratitude connection a regular thing. Stack it onto your lunch break.
Okay.
Finish eating.
Yeah.
Then spend 3 minutes sending a gratitude text.
Oh, I walk my dog every evening.
Uh-huh.
Could I use that time for the gratitude reflection the source talked about?
Brilliant. That's exactly the kind of creative thinking we're looking for. Find those natural pauses in your day and turn them into self-care moments.
This is making me realize how many little opportunities I have throughout the day to sneak in some self-care.
Yeah.
I just need to be more intentional about it.
That's the key. Another powerful strategy is to create visual reminders of your chosen rituals.
Visual reminders.
Think of it like a vision board, but for self-care.
Okay, I'm already picturing a Pinterest-worthy collage of calming images.
Sure.
Maybe with a few inspirational quotes thrown in.
Exactly. It could be that, or it could be as simple as a list on your fridge, a sticky note on your computer screen.
Right.
Anything that catches your eye and reminds you of your commitment.
Out of sight, out of mind, right?
Totally. It's easy to get swept up in the to-do list.
Yeah.
And forget about those little things that nourish our well-being.
It is.
A visual reminder is a great way to stay on track.
Absolutely. And here's another tip.
Okay.
Track your progress. It doesn't have to be anything fancy.
Okay.
A simple calendar where you mark off each day you complete your ritual can work wonders.
Oh, I could see that.
I'm a very visual person,
Yeah.
so I can see how that would be motivating.
It taps into our natural desire for accomplishment. Seeing those check marks can be incredibly encouraging.
Yeah.
Plus, it helps you identify any patterns or obstacles.
Okay.
Are you more likely to skip your ritual on certain days or in certain situations? That awareness can help you adjust your strategy.
It's like turning self-care into a game.
Exactly.
And who doesn't love a good challenge?
It's about finding what works for you and making it fun.
Right.
Because, let's be honest, self-care shouldn't feel like another chore on your already overflowing list.
That's such a great point. It should feel good, rejuvenating, and empowering.
Absolutely. And remember, self-care is a journey, not a destination.
Okay.
There will be days when you rock it and days when you completely forget.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Right.
Be kind to yourself. Be flexible. And remember that even small steps in the right direction are worth celebrating.
This has been such an insightful conversation.
It has.
I'm feeling so much more equipped to make self-care a consistent part of my life, not just a fleeting good intention.
It's been my pleasure.
And remember, incorporating these rituals is not just about you.
It's not.
It's about showing up as the best version of yourself for your loved ones, your work, and the world around you.
Love that. It's like a ripple effect of positive energy.
Well, dear listeners, we've reached the end of our deep dive.
We have.
We hope you feel inspired and empowered to create your own personalized self-care toolkit and make those small moments of well-being a priority.
Absolutely.
Until next time, take care of yourselves.